Hello, everybody. Well, or not hello. I'm waiting for everybody to get on. It is Tuesday, and guess what? She is bedridden. I hurt my foot yesterday, and so I sprained it, and it's swollen. And I've been a little bit sad today because I'm not moving like I'm used to. But this is the one thing that I get to do. No more excuses. Even if I'm stuck in the bed, I can still go live. So it's Tuesday, y'all. It's I Choose Me, hashtag no more excuses. And it's basically our day to come together, to love each other, to support each other, and to just grow on the levels in which we were designed to go. Hey Ma, how you doing? Thank you for the love. Like I was saying earlier, yesterday, it was the first day of school for the kids, and I was so like, okay, everybody's out the door. I'm gonna clean up. I'm gonna get my house back in order, and da da da. I got my day back, and I'm gonna organize. And so I went in to do that, and in the process of trying to break down a box, I sprained my foot. So I am stuck in the bed with a swollen foot, feet elevated, but it's Tuesday and we are going live. And so, first of all, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the movement. If you're on, say hi. Hey, Ma, we blessed. If you step in, you want to say hello, please say hello. Remember, this is about a movement. It's about us coming together. This is our meeting. Tuesday nights are our meeting to come together, to support each other, to life, to walk in purpose, to pick ourselves up, to get to know who we are, and to use no more excuses as we move on in our journey. But so on today, oh man, thank you. I hope I feel better too. I'm in a lot of pain. Oh my God, I'm in a lot of pain. But this gives me life, and so I'm glad to be here with y'all right now. And so today, let me get my little book. Today, our topic for the live today is going to be, you were born for a purpose which gives you promise. I'm not going to take too much of your time because, like I said, I've been bedridden, so I'm going to be quick and to the point. But on my process of being bedridden today, I've been stuck laying here doing work, and I happened to was watching TV. And while I was watching TV, I went on HBO, and I don't know if everybody ever heard of the Henrietta Lacks story, which Oprah is in, and it's the story of the HeLa. The cells that they got from the African American woman, and it basically what they said, they were the first human cells to be continuously grown in culture. So basically, these cells changed the life. But when me and my sister was watching today, what was so amazing, which gave me my topic, which was you were born for a purpose, which gives you promise, was the fact that John Hopkins used the medicine and the stuff from her. Yes, Henrietta Lacks cell. That's right, the Henrietta Lacks cell. Well, she used, thank you, honey. She used the, what I was about to say, I almost lost my train of thought. Oh, John Hopkins doesn't use people's name, right? And so they abbreviated what it was called by her name. So her name is Henrietta Lacks. So they use the HE and the LA, which stands for HeLa, right? And that's what they use in everything. Is bring stem cell research. It does so much breakthrough work. What she is and who she is, right? And so what was so amazing about it was that as I was looking at it, I heard HeLa. She was a HeLa. Can y'all hear that in HeLa? That's what I heard. I'm always hearing something, right? And so I thought that was so profound that even in her name, it was evidence of her purpose, which she now fulfill a promise, right? And so before I go a little bit into what I mean by, knowing your purpose so you can fulfill your promise, I want to give you go over the definitions of purpose and promise. And so purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. That's purpose. Now, promise is a declaration or assurance that one will do a particular thing, or that a particular thing will happen. And so why I do this live every week, why I'm so passionate about loving yourself to life, why I think it's so imperative for your future to know who you are, is because there is purpose in you. You were born with a purpose, whether it's in your name, whether it's in your story, whether it's in what you've been through, whatever it is that you have been built for, whatever it is that you were designed, your divine assignment that we speak on from week to week, whatever that is your purpose. And when you step in your purpose, you fulfill a promise that only you can fulfill, a promise that only you can show up for, a promise that only you can deliver, because we each got a different makeup. We each got a distinctive fingerprint to who we are. And so in order for you to be your best self, in order for you to walk in purpose, in order to fulfill your promise, you got to know who you were created to be. In order for you to step in your divine assignment, you got to be who you were created to be. You got to figure out what it is these lessons in my life are teaching me, what it is I'm supposed to be learning, where it is that you want me to go, how is it that you want me to grow, and where are you taking me, right? And so when I think about the journey of my life and the lessons that I have learned, I begin to embrace that it's all a part of my purpose, which would then bring me into my promise. And so if I don't show up and recognize that what I've been through or who I am is directly related to who I was born to be, I'm not going through anything that wasn't divinely set aside. Let me tell you something. My foot was hurting. And for 1 second, I was about to give the devil credit. For 1 second, I'm about to say, I got so much stuff on my plate. I got things to do. I got, I just can't have my foot hurting right now. I can't be stuck in the bed right now. And I tell you, time after time, people have called me and said, listen, that's God's way of telling you to sit down. It's God's way of telling you to rest up. It's God's way of telling you to, I'm going to take something from you so you could stay still. Sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes we fall short of the lesson. Sometimes we fall short of what is being showed to us because we are so much in our own way, because we know what we want, and we overwork ourselves, we overextend ourselves, and we do it because we're built like this. That is why with this movement, I want to teach us to love ourselves to life, so we can recognize when we're overextending ourselves, so that we can sit down so God don't have to sit us down. See, even on me, I tell you, every day I go week to week with this journey. I go week to week with the I Choose Me, because it's a part of me. That is my purpose. And so I'm fulfilling my promise by showing up in my day-to-day life. And so even if it means like right now God had to sit me down, because sometimes I don't sit down, and my husband tells me all the time, listen, you can't do everything. You got to do. And I fight against it because I'm a micromanager. I want everything done the way I want it done, the way I see it fit. And so I have a hard time relinquishing power for other people to do things for me, right? And so in this moment when everybody is telling me that God, what God is saying, sit down, I had to embrace that. I had to embrace that because God places people in our lives as well, who are put there to help us get to our divine assignment, who are put there to help us recognize when we are overextending ourselves, who are put there to simply show us who God is and what he looks like and what he does and what we need to do in order to be present, and what we need to do in order to be alive, and what we need to do in order to show up in our purpose. How many of you out there got a promise? How many of you out there know that you got a purpose inside of you that you're dying to let out, you're dying to live in, but you're stuck in whatever moment you're stuck in? Yes, let me read this. Yeah, she does. People, Sapphire's laughing at me. Pay attention to how you feel. It will tell you what to do. That's right, Kia. It will always tell you what to do. It will always show you where you need to be. It will always humble you. And so life sometimes humble us in a way to make us sit back, to maybe lay on our back and take the time to love ourselves, to take the time to put ourselves first. And so sometimes, even though I go week to week and say, sometimes sometimes I'm not putting myself first, because God had to sit me down too, right? And so I'm telling you that begin to put yourself first so God don't have to sit you down. Listen to what he's showing you so God don't have to sit you down. Take a break so he don't have to give you a break. You know what I mean? And so that's my lesson for the week, y'all, that you can still show up in your purpose to deliver in your promise by being conscious of who you are, by making sure you take care of yourself, by making sure that you don't overexert yourself to be everything. Because we weren't equipped to be everything, we were equipped to be one thing. That is what we were born to do. And sometimes we get caught up in our titles and our roles, like I say all the time, that we forget that we were was made and designed with a different type of purpose. That's right. Patricia said, honor self. Honor self above all. When you choose you, you're choosing God. I say that week after week. I say that when I go speak at my events. I say that because when you choose you, God is you. We are all a reflection of him. We are all examples of him. We are all his goodness in different pieces. And when we show up for ourselves, we're showing up for God because we're delivering our light to people through our experiences, through our struggles, because that was our purpose is all about. That's what his promise is all about. And so week after week, I'm always going to tell you to embrace your struggle, embrace your story, embrace what you've been through. I had an amazing conversation earlier with my friend Sybil that I met, another divine connection. And what we spoke about was embracing what you've been through so that you can turn on your light. When you show up for yourself, your light shines. And when your light shines, you begin to walk in your purpose, which then starts to fulfill your promise. You will not fulfill your promise until you walk in your purpose. You will not fulfill your promise until you know who you are, who you were created to be, till you love yourself to life even when nobody else sees you. It's time for us to turn on our lights. It's time for us to share our stories. It's time for us to sit down when we need to sit down. It's time for us to stand up when we need to stand up. It's time for us to become conscious in our everyday life so that we will not neglect to put ourselves where we belong, which is first in line. Put yourself first in line so that you have the power to put other people next. I had to learn that. I'm still learning that day by day because I'm a nurturer by spirit. My spirit is a nurturer, right? But I can't forget to nurture me because God is in control of me, right? And he's going to nurture me. And so if that means he's going to sit me down, he's going to sit me down. So that's my lesson for the week that I wanted to share with y'all because I wanted everybody to understand that we are all a work in progress. God is working on us all. And no matter how much you want to strive, no matter how much you think that you don't have what it takes, I'm here to tell you that you got to press on. You got to continue to be who you were created to be. You got to love yourself to life. You got to love your mistakes. You got to love the journey. You got to embrace the story. And you got to know that because you were born with a gift, because you were born with a purpose, there is a promise waiting on you. And until you show up in your purpose, you won't fulfill the promise, and you'll continue to neglect the gift that God has placed in your spirit. Nakia said you got to know when it's time to take a pause for a second. Absolutely. Because when you don't, God has a way of humbling you. God has a way of sitting yourself down. God has a way of giving you crutches in your life. And so right now I'm hopping along on crutches because I did not sit down, because I didn't listen, because I wanted to overextend myself, because I wanted to be everything for everybody instead of stopping and being what I need to be for me. So I urge you and I challenge you that understand that you are magnificently made and that you have great things in store for you and that you were born with, because you were born enough, right? Ain't that our motto? I don't even think I started with my motto. Thank you, honey. I don't think I started with my motto, but you know our motto is I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. And so remember, that's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. It's about inspiring ourselves it's about loving ourselves to life so that we can be everything that we were created to be for each other, so that we can be everything that we were created to be in our journey, so that we can turn on our light continuously because we were built that way, so that we can walk with a pride and with a love for ourselves that other people would just have to stand in line and honor you, praise you, recognize you, see you, because God made you to be seen. We were all made to be seen and valued. We were all made to be recognized. We all have an individual, special, unique design that makes us perfect, right? Perfectly us. But until we stand up in our story, until we give God the glory, until we show up and understand that everything that we have been through is what's creating who we are. It is the roadmap. It is the roadmap. into our promise. It is the roadmap into our story. These are the chapters that are needed in order for us to be great. These are the chapters that are required in order for us to step into our promise and show up and show God that we are worthy, that we were worth everything He saw in us, and that we're going to take everything He taught us and be the best that we can be in our journey. And so that's my pledge to you, is to love yourself to life. I can't stress enough. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you can't put down. I don't know how overextended you are in your life. But right now, the word for the week is to sit down. Take a seat. Take a breath. Enjoy the friends that matter. Enjoy the loves that matter. Breathe. Smell the roses. And know that it's up to you to show up and be great. But if you're not 100%, you can't be what you were called to be. If you're not 100%, you can't show up in your role. You can't show up in your life. And so take care of you in order to take care of somebody else. Love you in order to love somebody else. Respect you in order to respect somebody else. And guide you in order to be able to guide somebody else. Learn to teach. Love yourself to give love. And be what you were created to be. And so at this time, I'm going to share my poem. Ooh. I'm going to share my poem for the week. And it's called Waiting on Your Promise. Because I think that's what we're all about. I think that's what we're all going through. I think that's what the struggle is in our life. Don't you agree? Tiara said, being great isn't always easy, but with love and support from good family and friends and God's strength, the path is possible. Absolutely. And that's what I want to show you. I want to show you that if you take the time to love you, if you take the time to take care of you, if you take the time to show up for you, then your path becomes easier because the journey becomes yours. When you walk in your path and your journey and your life, then it's easy and steps are easier, right? Because you were designed to step. You were designed to walk. These things were meant for you. And so when you're walking in the path that was meant and designed for you, it's easy. And so if you're struggling, and if it's a struggle and you can't find your way, or you feel like, you just can't see life the way you want it to be, it's probably because you're not walking in the path that was designed for you. And the reason why you're not doing that is because you haven't taken enough time. You haven't dated yourself long enough to experience or to know who you are in order to be who you were called to be. Loving yourself is the door, is the roadmap into walking into your purpose. So if you're out there and you're saying, well, I don't know what I was built to do. I don't know what my promise is. I don't know what my purpose is. It's because you haven't spent enough time with yourself. You don't know what it is because you don't know who you are yet. And so I'm urging you to take care of yourself, to take time with yourself so you can figure out who that person is so that you can show up as that person every time. And I promise you, you will always be the light in the room. You will always shine something on somebody's darkness. You will always be the gift that you were designed to be when you show up as yourself. You're only a gift when you're you. Because if you're something else, then that's already been given out, right? And so what is it? It can't be a gift to you if somebody else had it, right? And so if you be original, that's the only way you stay a gift. Theodore said, walking comes in different ways. There are different types of steps. Absolutely. Many different types of steps. And in order to walk in that light, and in order to be in those steps, you got to know what steps belong to you. You got to know how high you can climb. You got to know how far your legs will separate apart. You got to know all of that. And you learn all of that by learning yourself. You learn all of that by getting the lessons in your life so that on your path and your way, you got the instructions. Why? Because you've been designed to go this way to be equipped for what's coming up. You've been built for it. You were built for this time. And so at this time, I'm going to go share the poem like I was saying. And this poem is titled, Waiting on Your Promise. Have you found yourself wondering, when will my time be? Have you shouted to the heavens, can you still see me? Have you forgotten the dream that you placed in my heart? Did you change up the game because I feel like I'm at a restart? I feel like I'm at a restart. What happened to the steps that I've made thus far? I've been so beaten by this journey that I'm just wishing on a star. Can't figure out what it is you want me to do because I feel so lost and I just need to be true. True to the fact that your last lesson left me dazed, though I'm keeping it together and I look like I'm unfazed. You see, I'm waiting on your promise. What more do you need? I've been patched up so many times and I have nothing left to bleed. You said the battle is not mine, yet I feel like I'm at a war. And I can't figure out what some of these lessons are for. But I think I hear your whispers. It's not for the swift, but those that endure to the end. So when you reach that moment in your life, house can't you do, sorry. So when you reach that moment, your house can't do anything but stand. Because you took the time to make every moment count, even those filled in pain. And in those trying times, you realize a lesson is what you gain. Know that in your waiting is where your value grows. And when you reach your moment, it will always show. Waiting on your promise makes it better for your story. So when you stand up in purpose, you will serve in all God's glory. And so what that poem is all about is about understanding that as long as you continue to stay true to you, as long as you show up for you, as long as you stop when you need to stop, as long as you breathe when you need to breathe, as long as you say yes when you want to say yes, and say no when you want to say no, then you're being true to who you were created to be. And when you be true to you, you get to walk in purpose, and you get to fulfill your promise. I want us all to unlock ourselves, because we all have a treasure inside. We all have something individual and divine to offer. And we only reach that pivotal moment when we show up for us. We only reach that pivotal moment when we love who we were created to be. We only reach that pivotal moment when we recognize that everything we've been through is all a part of the plan to get us to where we were meant and designed to go. And so if you're ready to show up in your divine assignment, if you're ready to show up in your story, if you're ready to be who you were created to be, I say you start by loving you to the core. I mean, loving every bit of yourself, loving every piece of yourself. When you begin to do that, you begin to unlock the layers that have covered you up through the years. You begin to release yourself. You begin to take the blindfold off and look yourself in the eye and show up and say, I am who I am. I was born to be great. I have a divine assignment, and I'm going to shine my light every day because I was born enough. And so, like I said, my lesson for the week is sometimes I have to sit down. And when I don't sit down, God might sit me down. And so I'm humbly saying, I hear you, Lord. And I choose me too. And I'm going to take the time to sit down when I need to sit down. And rest when I need to rest. And accept help when people want to help me. And just understand that we all need each other. We all need each other. And in order for us to grow, in order for us to be who we were called to be, in order for us to shine our light, we have got to love ourselves so that we can love each other. I have been going to place after place, seeing women after women who we are in pain. We are in pain because we hide behind the shame of our stories, and we refuse to celebrate each other. We refuse to tell our story because we are so scared of how people would see us. We are so scared of how we will look. And I'm telling you that God gave you that story so that you can show up. And when you show up in that story, you will deliver in your purpose, and He will give you your promise. You're not getting your promise because you haven't fulfilled you haven't fulfilled your purpose. And your purpose is to shine your light on somebody else from what you've been through. So at this time, I have nothing more to say. Does anybody, God honors your recognition, babe? Thank you. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you, Gigi. I love you. The pivotal moment when our treasure is exposed. That is a pivotal moment. When you unlock that treasure, I'm telling you, life will never be the same. Even your lows become highs. You know why? Because life, you realize that love grows everything. And only thing, and whatever you put energy in, that's what's going to grow. And so if you use those pivotal moments and you unlock your treasures, you continue to grow. You continue to be great. You continue to stand up in your story. And so I'm going to lay down for the next 2 days. I'm going to take this rest. I'm going to elevate my feet. I'm going to let the swelling go down because Friday, Yes, y'all, we got auditions again. So I just want to tell you that this first Friday in the Charlotte area, I'm having auditions from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Little Rock Culture Center at 401 North Meyer Street. And once again, if you are women between the ages of 15 to 60 or a male between the ages of 21 to 55, please come out and audition. Please come out. I got a good amount of people, but I need some more. And so if you had a dream and you want to act and you want to be a part, please come and be a part of something great. It's my play called Picking Up the Broken Pieces. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about moving in my story. I'm excited about moving in my journey. And I realize that the more I walk in my giving, the more that I show up in my purpose, the more God delivers a promise. And so life is working out, and your life is working out, and our lives will work out when we show up for ourselves and be who we were called to be. You'll never make it being anything but who you are born to be. And so stop mimicking people, stop copying people, stop trying to figure other people out. Spend the time figuring yourself out. Spend time with yourself. Love on yourself. Honor yourself. Treat yourself and show yourself that you were born enough and that life is waiting on you to show up, and that who you are, the world needs, the world wants, and the world is waiting on. And so at this time, I just want to say I love, love, love you. This is your time to say anything. If you want to say anything, thank you for tuning in once again for week after week. Got a music on? And so I just want to say, love yourself to life. Treat yourself like you are somebody. Treat yourself like you are honorable. Treat yourself like you are worthy, and treat yourself like you are special and that you were born enough. Born enough. I just wake up every day thinking that. I just wake up everything wanting everybody to understand that you are amazing. You are one of a kind. I don't know who's listening today, who needed to hear this today, but I just want to tell you that you are something special. And who you are is directly related to what you've been through. So embrace your story, remove the shame so you can get in your lane and turn on your light, because the world is tired of being in the darkness. And it's time that we shine our light on each other so that we all can find our way out into a better time. That's for you, baby. Well, this is for you, T. This is for you. And I want y'all to know that I love you all. And I'm proud of everybody. And I look forward into the growth. I look forward into watching everybody to begin to stand up in their story, in their purpose, and continue to shine that light. Shine the light that was given divinely to you. Y'all see my crutches? These are my little crutches, y'all. Thank God. Shout out to my neighbor who had some in her yard. She just brought it. But I just want to say that I love you guys. I just love, love, love the movement. I love the journey. And like I said, I choose me, hashtag no more excuses. I'm going to show up every week. I don't care where my life takes me. I don't care where we go. This is our meeting, y'all. This is our movement. Together, we can be great. Together, we can inspire each other. I really know and I believe in my heart and in my soul that when you change women and you change girls, you change the world. We own the power. Until we show up in our story, until we support one another, until we love one another, we will never be who we were called to be. We will never shine like we were created to shine. We got to remove all that hate. We got to remove all that self-hatred. We got to remove all the things that tell us that we are not enough. And we got to embrace that you were born enough, that you are special, that you have a divine assignment, that you were built to be loved, that you were born to be accepted, that you were born to be appreciated, that you are somebody. You are somebody. So be that. Show people who you are because you got to know you first. Show people what they're missing because they're missing something if you haven't showed up. The world is missing something when you don't show up. And so I'm begging you and I'm pleading with you from week to week to show up in your life, to show up in your story, to show up in your journey, and be the amazing soul and spirit that you were designed and created to be. You are great. You are worthy. You are amazing. And the world needs your peace. You are a masterpiece. You are a masterpiece. Shine your light, babies. Shine your light every day. Every single day. And so even if I got to lay in this bed and it's the only thing I can do is speak to you guys, guess what? I'm going to do what I can do. No more excuses is the name of the game. No more excuses is the name of the game. And so to live and to operate in that means to show up every day, irregardless of your circumstance, irregardless of your situation, irregardless of what you've been through. Show up because you can. Show up because you're here. Show up because you were built to. You were built for it tough, baby. You were built for your journey. So show up because that's the name of the game. I love you guys. I mean, I really do. You have no idea. You have no idea how much this movement means to me. You have no idea how much joy I get from coming week to week and pouring in and for you to receive me and for me to receive you. I love it. I love you guys. And it will and my dreams will I will start to see my dreams on high level when I begin to see you guys show up in your lives. When I begin to see your testimonies of how you've loving yourself to God. When I begin to see how precious and how great you guys are because you decided that my story is what makes me amazing. My journey is the reason why I get to stand up and smile. I'm not going to hide who I am because it's because of what I've been through that I am who I am. Don't let nobody steal that from you. Don't let nobody steal the pain that you went through. You've earned those stripes. You've earned the chance to stand up and smile. You've earned the chance to be who you are. You've earned that by the pain and the struggle and the lessons you had to endure. You have earned the right to be great. And so, once again, I say, love yourself to life. Why? Because love grows everything. And you teach people how to treat you. So until you love you, how can you expect anybody else to, right? And so remember our motto, which is I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. Because when I do those things, I show up. I show up in a way that makes me recognize my purpose so that I can fulfill my promise. Until next Tuesday, and for those of you, please come out Friday. If you're in the Charlotte area, there's no excuses. Even if you just want to come out and support, please come out and support. We'll be there from 7 to 10 p.m. at 401 North Meyer Street. Also, starting in September 30th, I will have my first Real Talk with Real Woman Summit. We'll once a month we're gonna get together, and it's gonna be us turning on our lights. It's about us starting to turn on our lights. And so we're going to operate together. We're going to work together. We're going to fellowship once a month. One Saturday a month, we're going to have cocktails. We're going to have good little hors d'oeuvres. And we're going to have conversations, real conversations, so we can create the sisterhood that was needed in order for us to be great. The sisterhood that is needed in order for us to change our generation. The sisterhood that is needed in order for us to show up in our purpose, in order to fulfill our promise. So until next week or Friday or whenever I see you, I just want to say I love you to life. Love grows everything, so love yourself first. And remember, you teach people how to treat you, so show up in that purpose, in that right, and in that light. Until next time, love grows everything. Love you. By Gigi, by Nick, by T, let's see, by Ma, by Sapphire, Nakia, Patricia, Terry, and thank you all for tuning in. I love you, love you, love you, love you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Tutu want to say hi.
Hi.
These are my little helpers. They've been helping me on bed rest. My little angels, right? Ain't I blessed? Until next week, love grows everything, so love yourself first. You deserve it. You were born enough. I choose me. # no more excuses. Bye-bye.